What we won't leave to your imagination is our guest today. I mean, we kind of will because radio is like theater of the mind, right? So while you can't see it, you have to come up with what it looks like in your brain. But I'm very excited to have our first. We've had former K-State coaches, we've had former K-State players, but we've never had any current active roster K-State players on the show until tonight. And tonight we have one of K-State's top defensive backs, Ekow Boye-Doe. Ekow, thank you for being on training camp this evening.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, it's our pleasure to have an active K-State football player on the show. I mean, it's always a great time with all the folks that we've had on, but it's especially like fun to get the inside scoop. So, Ekow, you're a defensive back. You're a corner. What do you think is the strength for the Kansas State defense? I'm gonna roll with this question. What do you think is K-State's strength for the defense going into the season for 2022 here in just under a month?
I mean, it would be hard to just say one spot, but I mean, we have guys all around. Of course, Julius Brents, he's right next to me on the other side, playing corner, and he just brings a lot of physicality. He's a great player, and we also have Daniel Green on the defense. So I mean, like just having Daniel leading the defense is enough, and will be enough for every spot.
Okay, no, that's great. So part of what I love about Kansas State and the culture that Kansas State has is just the way that all the players on the team kind of bounce off each other. There's the guys that step up and lead, but everyone's expected to lead too. Does it get you hyped up to be playing with guys who are as skilled as Julius Brents and Felix Anudike-Uzomah and Khakid Duke and Daniel Green and all those guys? Is it fun to look around and be like, oh my gosh, look at this defense that I'm playing with?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, like you said, you just listed off a bunch of great players, guys that are going to play at the next level. It's a lot of fun just because the competition level is at an all-time high. I mean, even at corner, we just brought in Jordan, and he's going to be a great addition to the cornerback room. And I'm just excited to start fall camp tomorrow.
Absolutely. And also, Ekow, you mentioned Jordan, and I know there has been some questions, not here, but in other places, how the secondary might be the biggest question mark for this team. But we got a lot of impact transfers coming into the secondary. Who do you think has stood out the most?
I mean, like I said, Jordan, he's a great player, and we also have Josh Hayes, another great player. He's going to do good for the safety room. Just bringing in a lot of experience. He's a guy that's played a lot, so we're gonna expect a lot from him. And Kobe Savage, he's a baller. He loves the game, which I mean, that's something huge because he's gonna give his all every snap.
So, Ekow, I was looking around on your profile for the K-State Athletics on kstateathletics.com just to make sure I got all my information right before I went out very publicly and said something stupid. But I'm curious. You came from Lawrence High School, right? So were you originally a Jayhawk fan, or were you always a K-State guy, or what did your recruitment look like coming all the way over from Lawrence?
All right. It's kind of crazy, yeah. Growing up in Lawrence, I was definitely a big Jayhawk fan.
Okay.
Actually, one of my friends, his dad was a strength coach at KU, so for KU football. So I mean, I was always around the program and stuff. So I grew up on KU, basketball, football, any sport you name it. I was a big fan, but just throughout my recruiting, K-State just showed me a lot of love, and they just kept in touch very often, and that was enough for me. And also, Kansas State actually offered me a day before KU did, which kind of was upsetting. So
okay,
that was definitely a big reason.
Okay, cool. So the time in which Kansas State offered you was part of the decision process. I hear that. My brother actually just got accepted to the KU track team. He's a walk-on, but he's going to be on the KU track team. And I was kind of like, I guess from the opposite standpoint, it's kind of like, oof, for my family at first because we're all K-State people and he's going over to KU.
Right.
But then now, yeah, it was all about the coach, right? And so I'm sure that also played into your commitment to Kansas State a couple of years ago. But Jazsmin, you got a question.
Yeah, I do. Since you were talking about, how you used to be a huge KU fan, now that you've been at K-State for, these amount of years, do you, somewhere in your heart still have love for KU?
Yeah, definitely. I know it's tough to say it, but
it's okay.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah,
I do. I honestly support KU basketball a little bit. I like to see them do good. But
there are a lot of people in the state of Kansas that they're like, I like KU basketball, but I like KU football or K-State football, and
right.
So that's cool. I feel that, and it's not every day that you get a K-State football player saying, yeah, I kind of like KU basketball.
Hey, as long as that love goes away when they play KU in football,
yeah,
that's all that matters.
There we go. Yeah, and I think that we've seen that it does from your play against KU. So Joe Klanderman has come out and pretty publicly said, as well as Coach Kleiman, that it's kind of like you guys are going to be doing this 3-3-5 defense, right? And that's Kansas State was not known for their 3-3-5 defense. They're known for their four-man front. But have you had to relearn skills, or have you had to learn new skills to help you be a better player in the 3-3-5 defensive scheme, because it relies so heavily on the secondary, right? The corners and the safeties.
Yeah. I mean, last year we played that a little bit, but I think Coach Klinderman, he just feels like our defensive backs can do it, can get the job done. He likes to just let us go out there and just fly around and play fast, and I feel like that's the perfect defense to do it in.
Okay, the perfect defense, in the words of Ekow Boye-Doe, is a 3-3-5. Interesting. So something that I've been very curious about from the day that you stepped foot on the K-State roster is, how did you get the name of Ekow? What's the scoop behind your first name?
Right. So, as you know, or if you didn't know, I was born in Ghana, West Africa.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah. And I moved to Lawrence when I was about 3 years old. And so pretty much Ekow means I was born after twins. So I have two brothers. They're twins. They're older than me.
Okay.
So that's the meaning of Ekow.
Okay. No, that's really cool. I was thinking a shark uses sonar in the water to find and attack their prey, right? So I thought that you were using your Ekow, your name, to fly around and hit people on the football field, right? Got that extra edge, but I guess not. No, that's really cool.
No, that's my real name, but I also go by Pac.
Okay.
And pretty much that is another name in my culture. It comes from Paco, which just means respect. So growing up, that's what all my friends called me. They called me Paco. And throughout my senior year and at K-State, everyone, I just go by Pac now.
That's awesome. No, that's a really cool inside look into what your name comes from, because when I looked up what my name comes from, Kolby, right, it was somebody who does work in a coal mine or something like that,
right.
or I'm usually associated with the cheese, right, Kolby Jack cheese,
right.
And it's kind of like R.I.P. No, that's not even remotely close. So something that we saw very heavily on the stage of college football last year was the national championship game, Georgia and Alabama. And there's this famous video that came out where the linebackers, the Georgia game, were policing each other, right? They're yelling at each other. One of the linebackers missed his assignment. It gave up a touchdown. His other linebacker came up and was like, yo, what are you doing? But it was also constructive, right? Does K-State play with that same amount of accountability? I know Coach Kleiman is all about accountability and being the man, right, and stepping up and being that guy. But can you kind of shed some light as someone who's inside of that right now, what that kind of looks like for the defense?
Right. I mean, that's something not only Coach Kleinman harps about, but like every coach and everybody in the building is accountability. Not just like it's a lot easier and it means a lot more. Well, not easier, but it's harder, but it means a lot more coming from a player other than just a coach or something. And I feel like that's something that our team is getting better at, being able to just call someone out without them having harsh feelings, which is it's a really tough thing to do, but
Sure.
Once you're able to do it, it'll take you a lot of places.
Yeah, no, that kind of personal responsibility and accountability, I think, shows maturity as a person, because I mean, like, what business doesn't want their guys to be accountable on their team, you know?
Exactly.
So it's like it's one of those life skills that you learn in football that can be applied anywhere. So I think that's great. In your opinion, I'm going to switch gears here, and I don't want to be that guy that like quizzes you about the offense because you're a defensive player, but you get a unique perspective because you get to play against it in practice. So what was your initial thought of Collin Klein being named the offensive coordinator after the Texas Bowl?
I was very excited about hearing that. I mean, right after the LSU game, I feel like a lot of people could see a difference. Just after that one game. But I think he's a hungry coach, and he's a guy that knows a lot about the game. He's been through it, which is a big thing for us, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
So what was it like to play against a program like LSU in the Texas Bowl? I mean, I know some of their key guys were either injured or sick, but, you know, that's still like LSU. I mean, they won a national championship 2019, went 15-0,
Right.
you know? So, like, what was it? Was it intimidating to play against them, or was it kind of like you're about to get lit up by Kansas State and you don't respect us?
Yeah, I feel like it was exactly that. I mean, coming into it, this is what any like smaller program, if you say, would want a chance to actually go out there and play against what they say is a big time conference, whoever it is in the SEC. But it being LSU is just like we wouldn't want it any other way. Like,
Okay,
it was the perfect thing.
no, that's great. And the defense. Geez, the defense was nasty in that game. I mean, the score doesn't reflect it, the 42-20, because of those like 2 garbage time touchdowns, right? But
Right.
like, dang, that was Ekow. I don't know if I've been more excited for a bowl game in a long time, because that was that was exciting. Oh my gosh, and it gave me something to be happy about, because my brother, his basketball team, had just lost this really important game, and I came outside. I was like, the K-State game's on, turned on my phone. You guys were already up by like 21 points. And I said, oh, my God, incredible. Yeah. I'm going to just go home and watch it now. So very good. Very awesome stuff. Jazsmin, what you got?
Yeah, since, we're on that LSU game, Ekow, what was your biggest moment from that game, or something that you will like always remember going up against a program such as LSU?
Me getting scored on. I'm playing.
But, hey, if you honest, right?
I would say one of the first possessions. One of the first possessions was a quick 3 and out. Getting 3 and outs early is just it's the best thing, because it just gives the whole defense a lot of confidence, and I feel like that's what did it for us. Just knowing that we could play in that environment, and yeah.
Okay, so what was it like preparing for that team? Because like Kolby said, a lot of guys were out sick or decided to not play, because they wanted to either enter the transfer portal or get ready for the draft. So what was it like preparing for that team, especially when they had a quarterback who was,
hadn't played quarterback in 3 years.
Exactly, and was a wide receiver. Like, how did you guys try to like prepare for that game?
Right. I mean, each day we would just continue just to get better at our craft. I mean, there's like when there's a situation like that, you're not really gonna like scout out players and like really focus on that too much. You're just going to focus on the scheme and what they do. I mean, having their quarterback out and having a receiver, I think he was, playing quarterback, you're just going to go out there and play ball.
Nice. That's a good answer. So I don't want to get you any hot water here, so if you can't answer this question, that's okay. But what do you have any predictions on the year? What's K-State's record going to be?
I couldn't say a record, but I feel like
that's a loaded question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I kind of went for that, but you gave the right answer. That's okay.
No, I feel like this one's going to be one of the best that I've had. Definitely, if not the best. I feel like we have a lot of talent, and that's something we've maybe lacked a little bit in the years before,
Sure.
To an extent. But we have a lot of talent and different guys we can use in certain ways, and I think Coach Klein is gonna be a big help to that.
That's awesome. Well, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing you on the gridiron. I just love seeing you make plays, man. I mean, it's like when I was calling one of the K-State games last year. My first game that I called for Wildcat 91.9 was the TCU game. And you had some big plays in the TCU game. I'm like, man, Ekow Boye-Doe, every time they target him, he's just playing lockdown defense. So that was pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing you play more lockdown defense in the future. Ekow, thanks for being on the show today. I appreciate you coming on, and we're looking forward to seeing how you do in football season here in just a couple of weeks. What's going on, YouTube? This is Kolby Van Camp here, the host of Training Camp on Kansas State University student radio station Wildcat 91.9 FM. If you like the content that I've been putting out, be sure to hit the like button, smash subscribe, and ring the heck out of that bell so that you never miss another one of my shows again.